SST is brought to you by Stark Auto Sales, home of the ultimate worldwide scratch and dent car sale. Hey friends, I'm Rick Walker. Welcome to another edition of the SST Car Show. We have some very interesting people and some useful information to share with you today. We are going to have an expert here who will tell you how you can protect yourself when you are buying a new or used vehicle. We will also take you to Denver, Colorado, to the Forney Museum to show you some antique motorcycles, and we'll show you the Chevrolet Impala from the movie American Graffiti. But first, let's head off to Toronto now for a look at the all-new BMW M6 Coupe with Matthew Wilson of BMW Canada. So what do we have here? The M6.
Yeah, this is a 2016 M6 Coupe, one of three M6 variants. We have the M6 Cabriolet, the Grand Coupe, and the Coupe. This was first introduced just a couple of years ago and really is the pinnacle of BMW M performance.
So what is new for this model year?
For 2016, of course, a lot of the design elements that the non-Ms received, the Ms also received. So revisions to the iconic headlight design, the kidney grille, as well, a lot of interior enhancements have gone in the 2016 model.
I see that there are some performance styling cues on this car, and I would imagine a lot of that is actually functional, right? I mean, you've got use of carbon fiber here.
Yeah, pretty much everything the M division does is functional, although it looks great at the same time. That's just kind of the side benefit. But this actually has what's called the competition package, so it bumps output to 575 horsepower. This specific model also has the M Performance titanium exhaust, which actually sheds about another 30 pounds, has carbon fiber tips, and of course, sounds that much better, I think, than the stock exhaust. This has carbon ceramic brakes, which again shed more than 30 pounds. So everything has been done really to cut weight and improve handling and ultimately performance.
And that really enhances your power to weight ratio. It allows you to put the weight where you want it for proper handling.
Of course, and I think another one of the unique elements on this vehicle is carbon fiber roofs. So a lot of our competitors put a lot of glass up high in a car, which has the opposite effect in terms of handling of the vehicle, but putting carbon fiber up top really reduces the overall and lowers the weight ratio on this vehicle. So again, everything, if we looked at this car versus a non-M, 80% of the parts have actually been replaced or re-engineered by the M division.
Wow,
so, yeah.
That's substantial. So it's almost ground up redesign and re-engineer.
Yeah, the M division really gets involved very early on in the engineering phase and really co-develops these vehicles with an M version in mind. So it's a lot more than slapping, big wheels, exhaust, and a big engine under the hood.
Is there any kind of variable suspension involved here to provide a mix between performance and more of a luxury ride if the driver wants that?
Yeah, I think we have one of the most unique systems on the market with our M-Drive system. So drivers can really customize limitless number of possibilities between the suspension settings, the steering settings, throttle response, really turn the car from a highway cruiser into a full-on track vehicle within milliseconds.
That's great. Well, thank you again very much for sharing this with us. We now take you to Denver, Colorado, to the Forney Museum with our own Maggie Yole, who takes a look at an antique 1916 Detroit Electric.
This is the 1916 Detroit Electric. In its day, it was state-of-the-art. It was an easy car to drive because you didn't have to get out and start it with a hand crank. These cars had limited range, which is why they fell out of favor. These cars didn't have a steering wheel inside. Instead, they had a lever called tiller steering. Today, electric cars are finally making their comeback, and it all started right here.
And now a conversation with a representative from OMVIC, an organization that helps protect consumers when they purchase new or used vehicles.
I'm here with Terry O'Keefe from OMVIC. So Terry, why don't you tell us what OMVIC stands for?
OMVIC is the Ontario Motor Vehicle Industry Council, and we're Ontario's regulator of vehicle sales.
Okay, so OMVIC is sort of like a government body then?
Well, we're a delegated authority. So what it means is we enforce the Motor Vehicle Dealers Act and Consumer Protection Act on behalf of the Ministry of Government and Consumer Services.
Okay, so then your organization can sort of, what does your organization do then?
Probably the easiest way to explain it is we're a law enforcement agency. We regulate the industry. All dealers and salespeople must be registered with OMVIC. So if there are compliance issues, we will investigate and, if necessary, prosecute those issues. And we also deal with unlicensed sales, curbsiders who are illegal, unlicensed dealers. And our role is to protect consumers.
Okay, and so how does somebody become registered with OMVIC?
There's a number of different steps. If you wanted to become a salesperson, first you have to pass the OMVIC certification course. It's a course in automotive law and ethics because there are a lot of regulations that govern this industry, and of course you have to know what those are if you're going to operate with compliance. Once that's done, you send your application into OMVIC. There's criminal background checks, those kinds of things. If you're applying to be a dealer, they're going to look into the financing behind the dealership. And once those checks are completed, then a license is issued. But without that license, you cannot legally trade in vehicles in Ontario.
So what are some of the biggest challenges that you face?
With our registered dealer community, probably the biggest challenges we're facing right now have to do with all-in pricing and disclosure. In 2010, the laws were rewritten. Ontario dealers, if they advertise a price for a car, that price must be an all-in price. It has to include all the fees and charges the dealer intends to collect, except for HST and licensing. And when I say licensing, I mean the actual cost to register and plate that vehicle. Unfortunately, we still see a lot of non-compliance with this law, where dealers are surprising consumers with additional charges when they get to the dealership after they've seen a price. That's illegal, and it will be dealt with. If you went on our website today, looked under enforcement, you would see a list of dealers that we've had to unfortunately discipline, and that's the name of the process, the discipline process, due to the non-compliance. And the other area is disclosure. At the same time that the all-in pricing laws were introduced, they introduced laws on disclosure. For example, if the vehicle was a former daily rental that hasn't been owned by someone other than the dealer and the rental company, that must be disclosed in writing on the bill of sale. Accident or collision repairs in more than $3,000 must be disclosed in writing. And so we're still seeing some dealers non-compliant with this, and when that happens, we have, as the regulator, we have to take steps to address it.
And so this isn't really just to protect consumers, though, is it?
That's a great point. No, it's about creating a fair and informed marketplace and a level playing field for dealers. Because if you were a dealer and I was a dealer and you're advertising your cars with all-in prices and I'm not, I've got all these hidden fees, in the advertisement, your car is going to look more expensive than mine, when in reality, it's not. I'm just going to surprise the consumer when they end up at my dealership. And that's not fair. It's not fair to the consumer, and it's not fair to you, the compliant dealer. So yes, you're right. It's not just about transparency for consumers. It's about creating a level playing field for dealers.
So what kind of protections are in place for consumers then?
Well, the services that we offer to consumers, if they do have a complaint with a dealer, we have a free mediation service. We have a team of 10 staff, and they will assist the consumer to try and find an amicable solution. If that doesn't work, we have 13 inspectors across the province who inspect all dealerships and 16 investigators who can, if necessary, lay charges. And we have 7 lawyers on staff who act as prosecutors if we have to lay charges. But I think one of the biggest protections for consumers is the compensation fund, the Motor Vehicle Dealers Compensation Fund. And should a consumer suffer a financial loss as a result of a trade with a registered dealer, for example, let's say that I'm a consumer and you're a dealer and I left a $1,000 deposit with you for a car, and unfortunately you went out of business tonight. That consumer could get the $1,000 back from the compensation fund, and the fund will actually pay up to $45,000 per claim.
Okay, well, thank you very much for talking with us today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Don't go away. We have a lot more to share with you when we come back after these messages from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Elena. Don't go away. SST will be right back.
Steve Plunkett presents the Fleetwood Country Cruise-In, featuring 100 years of Dodge and Canada's Dukes of Hazzard cast reunion. Meet Tom Wopat, John Schneider, Rick Hurst, Sonny Schroyer, General Lee mechanic Tom Sarmenta, and other celebrities like George Barris, Linda Vaughn, Courtney Hanson, Gene Winfield, and Dennis Gage. See Square Dancing Tractors, over 4,000 vintage cars, and dozens of General Lees. June 6th and 7th, 9282 Elviage Drive, London, Ontario. Visit FleetwoodCountryCruisin.com for more info on an automotive extravaganza like no other.
Turn back the hands of time with antique Chevrolet parts. Since 1971, we've been sourcing parts from around the world to help you restore and maintain antique Chevs. Nose to tail fins, we have your parts. Call us toll free at 1-866-767-2787. Get help from a real person or go to antiquechev.com. Download a catalog, order online, delivered to your front door. Antique Chev, helping you turn back the hands of time.
Looking for a better way to buy a car? Stark Auto Sales holds insurance recovery auctions every Monday. SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, motorcycles, even exotic sports cars. Thousands of vehicles in stock. Some are rebuildable wrecks, some just parts cars. Others are damage-free theft recoveries. You can save a lot of money bidding in person or online. Stark ships worldwide. If you're looking for a better way to buy a car, stop by the next Monday auction at 119 Union Street, Toronto, or visit StarkAutoSales.com. Maverick Multimedia. We produce TV commercials and negotiate best possible airtime rates for our clients. We build custom websites with original photography and graphic design, not stock photos, and offer cost-effective search engine optimization plans that generate response. Real people serving clients across North America, getting you real results. Call 1-866-248-1490. Maverick Multimedia Incorporated. Way better marketing solutions.
The Southern Ontario Military Muster. See war reenactments, weapons demonstrations, vintage military vehicles. Honor the World War II veterans with a Veterans Parade marking the anniversary of VE Day, and the Portraits of Honor display paying tribute to Afghan vets. Tour the trenches, and don't miss this year's new attraction, the Supermodels America Vintage Fashion Show. The Southern Ontario Military Muster, June 13th and 14th at the Essex Sports Complex Arena and Grounds in Essex, Ontario. Visit militarymuster.ca.
Turn back the hands of time with antique Chevrolet parts. Since 1971, we've been sourcing parts from around the world to help you restore and maintain antique Chevs. Nose to tail fins, we have your parts. Call us toll free at 1-866-767-2787. Get help from a real person or go to antiquechev.com. Download a catalog, order online, delivered to your front door. Antique Chev, helping you turn back the hands of time.
Steve Plunkett presents the Fleetwood Country Cruise-In, featuring 100 years of Dodge and Canada's Dukes of Hazzard cast reunion. Meet Tom Wopat, John Schneider, Rick Hurst, Sonny Schroyer, General Lee mechanic Tom Sarmenta, and other celebrities like George Barris, Linda Vaughn, Courtney Hanson, Gene Winfield, and Dennis Gage. See Square Dancing Tractors, over 4,000 vintage cars, and dozens of General Lees. June 6th and 7th, 9282 Elviage Drive, London, Ontario. Visit FleetwoodCountryCruisin.com for more info on an automotive extravaganza like no other. Hey friends, welcome back to the SST Car Show. Off we go to Ottawa, Ontario now with our own Elena Walker, who interviewed Nadia Jorgensen, the team lead on this year's Carlton University Ravens racing team. This is a team of engineering students who put together race cars.
Okay, Nadia, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing here today?
Well, we're a team of engineers from Carleton University, and we design and build formula-style race cars. So the Society of Automotive Engineers every year puts on a competition that challenges universities to design a formula-style car. And so there's about 50 of us on the team, and starting in the fall, we make designs for the car, and then after Christmas, we are actually manufacturing them and then testing them, and then we'll take the cars to a competition in June, where we'll race it against about 100 other universities.
So what really goes into the design of these cars? Like, how much time do you think you have to take?
Oh, a ton of time. We pretty much work around the clock. I would say most of us put in about 30 hours a week almost on the team. It's a pretty intensive project, but it's well worth it. It's a ton of hands-on experience that you don't necessarily get just through courses. It's really valuable, and it's really well recognized in the automotive industry that how relevant the project is to the outside world.
Yeah, because you have to design all the components yourself, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. So pretty much every member of the team is assigned a component, and they'll look at last year's design, and then they'll tweak it, and they'll do testing on it, and then they'll redesign it and then implement it in the next year's car.
Yeah, and that's really good practice for if you're going to get into the automotive industry.
Exactly, yeah. It's exactly what's going to be happening in the automotive industry.
Okay, so I think you were saying before something about you want to get it done really fast. Why is that?
Well, really, the faster you get the car done, the more time you have to test it before a competition, and then the more chances you have to break it. Which sounds kind of strange, but it's better that it breaks before competition than at competition. And that's really just how we help push our cycle of learning. It's okay to make mistakes, and we want to break it and find out how we could improve a lot more. And it really just helps our overall progress throughout the year.
So what is the main goal with these cars when you're designing them?
Well, to be as fast as possible, really. The competition is mostly handling based, so performance is obviously a huge goal, but we're also evaluated on our designs, on how much we spend on the car. We have to explain how we would mass produce a car and how much it would cost. We do marketing presentations. So really, I think that's a consideration is mostly not only that we designed a really fast car, but also a really good quality car, and we want to impress the judges with our designs.
So how do you design a really fast car?
Generally, you need to balance reliability and performance. A big component is weight. The power to weight ratio is really critical. This year we had a challenge for all of our team members to reduce the weight of each component by 10%. Just gives us that little bit further.
So do the people on the team actually drive the cars in competition?
Of course they do, yeah. Our main driver is our testing engineer. We also have driver training tryouts, but typically we give preference to the drivers on people who are really committed to the team and who are valuable team members.
Okay, well, thank you very much for talking with us today.
Yeah, thanks for interviewing me. It's good to talk to you.
And now a look at those antique motorcycles I promised to show you at the Forney Museum in Denver, Colorado. We take you now to Detroit, the Motor City, to the Eyes on Design Car Show. That's where we found this tribute vehicle to the Chevrolet Impala that appeared in the movie American Graffiti. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll take you to ICU Auto Glass to find out how an auto service company like that really makes a big difference in their community.
Hi, I'm Elena. Don't go away. We've got more SST coming at you.
Looking for a better way to buy a car? Stark Auto Sales holds insurance recovery auctions every Monday. SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, motorcycles, even exotic sports cars. Thousands of vehicles in stock. Some are rebuildable wrecks, some just parts cars. Others are damage-free theft recoveries. You can save a lot of money bidding in person or online. Stark ships worldwide. If you're looking for a better way to buy a car, stop by the next Monday auction at 119 Union Street, Toronto, or visit starkautosales.com.
The Southern Ontario Military Muster. See war reenactments, weapons demonstrations, vintage military vehicles. Honor the World War II veterans with a Veterans Parade marking the anniversary of VE Day, and the Portraits of Honor display paying tribute to Afghan vets. Tour the trenches, and don't miss this year's new attraction, the Supermodels America Vintage Fashion Show. The Southern Ontario Military Muster, June 13th and 14th at the Essex Sports Complex Arena and Grounds in Essex, Ontario. Visit militarymuster.ca.
Steve Plunkett presents the Fleetwood Country Cruise-In, featuring 100 years of Dog and Canada's Dukes of Hazzard cast reunion. Meet Tom Wopat, John Schneider, Rick Hurst, Sonny Schroyer, General Lee mechanic Tom Sarmenta, and other celebrities like George Barris, Linda Vaughn, Courtney Hanson, Gene Winfield, and Dennis Gay. See square dancing tractors, over 4,000 vintage cars, and dozens of General Lees. June 6th and 7th, 9282 Elviage Drive, London, Ontario. Visit FleetwoodCountryCruisin.com for more info on an automotive extravaganza like no other. Maverick Multimedia. We produce TV commercials and negotiate best possible airtime rates for our clients. We build custom websites with original photography and graphic design, not stock photos, and offer cost-effective search engine optimization plans that generate response. Real people serving clients across North America, getting you real results. Call 1-866-248-1490. Maverick Multimedia Incorporated. Way better marketing solutions.
Turn back the hands of time with antique Chevrolet parts. Since 1971, we've been sourcing parts from around the world to help you restore and maintain antique Chevs. Nose to tail fins, we have your parts. Call us toll free at 1-866-767-2787. Get help from a real person or go to antiquechev.com. Download a catalog, order online, delivered to your front door. Antique Chev, helping you turn back the hands of time.
The Southern Ontario Military Muster. See war reenactments, weapons demonstrations, vintage military vehicles. Honor the World War II veterans with a Veterans Parade marking the anniversary of VE Day, and the Portraits of Honor display paying tribute to Afghan vets. Tour the trenches, and don't miss this year's new attraction, the Supermodels America Vintage Fashion Show. The Southern Ontario Military Muster, June 13th and 14th at the Essex Sports Complex Arena and Grounds in Essex, Ontario. Visit militarymuster.ca.
Looking for a better way to buy a car? Stark Auto Sales holds insurance recovery auctions every Monday. SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, motorcycles, even exotic sports cars. Thousands of vehicles in stock. Some are rebuildable wrecks, some just parts cars. Others are damage-free theft recoveries. You can save a lot of money bidding in person or online. Stark ships worldwide. If you're looking for a better way to buy a car, stop by the next Monday auction at 119 Union Street, Toronto, or visit starkautosales.com. Hey friends, welcome back to the SST Car Show. We take you now to ICU Auto Glass. This is a small auto service company that is growing by leaps and bounds in the community of Chatham-Kent, Ontario. It's run by Mike and Mike Wilson, a father and son team who are making a big difference in their own community. Meet Mike and Mike Wilson, a father and son business team that has turned an entrepreneurial dream into ICU, an auto glass success story that now operates from 2 locations and is benefiting the entire community.
We're reliable, we do things on time, and people know that when they come here, the job is going to be done, and it's going to be done properly.
ICU opened several years ago in a small shop in an industrial strip mall off LaCroix Street. But the father and son founders quickly outgrew their original location in Chatham and moved into this facility on Grand Avenue West. The timing was ideal because the new location had just been vacated by an established national auto glass company.
The idea was essentially to be able to service our customers coming and going, no matter what end of town you're on.
Now ICU has expanded again. When a car audio installation company decided to move, the father and son jumped at the chance to open a second location on St. Clair Street, in the heart of Chatham's busiest business district near Walmart, Home Depot, and other major retail outlets.
We are getting busier, we're getting a lot better known, and I think we've got a pretty good reputation, especially in the community and with insurance companies and just in general.
Mike and Mike credit their success to old-fashioned business values. For this father and son, that means giving back to the community. ICU sponsors local sports teams. The Wilsons have donated to many local charities. It's all happening because ICU Auto Glass has earned a reputation for providing quality products and superior service. That may sound like a cliche, but Mike and Mike say service is truly what their business is all about.
We go over and above. The only reason we're really here is for the customer. Without the customer, there's no reason for us to be here.
ICU is now generating employment opportunities for others. Several local auto dealers who were turning to out-of-town auto glass services are now using ICU's services. That's contributing to local economic stimulation, and that's something this father and son team take extreme pride in.
We've created jobs in the community, part-time currently, but we're working towards full-time employment with the full spectrum of benefits and paying good wages to people. You know, not just subsistence wages, wages that people can really create a life for themselves.
Mike and Mike, a father and son success story for Chatham, Kent. More than worthy of this business success profile. Mike and Mike Wilson, the proprietors of ICU Auto Glass in Chatham, Kent, Ontario. Just another shining example of why automobiles are good for the economy and good for, well, all of our communities. Well, friends, that's all the time we have today. We got to go. So until next time, I'm Rick Walker reminding you, when you can't get to the car show, we will bring the car show to you online at streetsporttv.com.
Maverick Multimedia production.